All right, so I can't even remember what day it is of this challenge thing, but today is
18th.
Thursday the 18th, October 18th, and I couldn't do the challenge I was supposed to do today because I had a lot of work, plus it's raining, and my challenge was going to be outdoors, but so I decided, okay, I have to think about, usually what happens by the afternoon of doing challenges is, okay, what am I going to do before the day's over, before it strikes midnight, the clock strikes midnight, what am I going to do for today? So I was thinking mentally in my mind what to do, because I came to pick up Zamar, my son, from Life Martial Arts, which is where he goes. It's his after school program. They pick him up from school, they bring him here, he does martial arts, and then I come pick him up after work. And when I came to pick him up, for some reason, not for some reason, usually Zalik stays later because he's in, it's speech, right? He stays later for speech, but today the teacher was not there. There was a sub, so we're not going to have speech after school. So I went and picked him up at a regular time, but Zamar didn't know that. And usually on Thursdays and Fridays, Zamar gets to stay later so that he can have fun. And they get on the mat at Life Martial Arts and they play all these games. And I mean, Zamar loves games. So I wasn't thinking anything of it. I picked up Zalik and I came to pick up Zamar. When I get in there, I'm like, hey, Zamar, and he goes, oh, Mommy, and then I'm seeing his face, and he's just like walking towards me, and I'm like, what's wrong, and he starts to burst into tears, and he's like, we just got on the mat, and I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I'm not going to get to play, and I thought I was going to get to play, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm looking at my watch, it's about 4:30, and I'm like, okay, I mean, we need to go home, First of all, we have to go pick up Zakai as well. Anyway, long story short, I looked at him and he looked so sad. And I said, okay, fine. We'll give you like 15-20 minutes. We'll be right back. Okay, you play. We'll be right back. So we can give him that so that he can play. He didn't know, right? So mentally, he thought he was going to get to play. So Zalik and we are like, okay, what do we do? And of course, I was like, okay, I need something to drink. Because actually, Megan, who works in my office, she had just popped a bag of popcorn. So right when I was leaving, the whole office was smelling like popcorn, and I was like, oh my God, I love popcorn and I want popcorn now. And so I told Zalik, okay, let's go to the gas station, let's get some popcorn. And I was thinking, we're just gonna get some regular popcorn. My favorite popcorn was at the gas station, Popcorn Indiana. I mean, if you have not had Popcorn Indiana, you're totally missing out, right, Zalik? I don't know why it's not very clear here, but okay, well, you can see it there. Popcorn Indiana, best popcorn ever.
Not sponsored.
This is not sponsored. They have not paid me for this. But you can if you want to. Popcorn Indiana, we can sponsor you. We can do ads. Anyway, the point is, but their drizzle one. There's a drizzle one. Chocolate drizzle one.
Chocolate
oh my God. It's a white chocolate and dark chocolate and regular chocolate. Whatever. It's chocolate. Drizzled on kettle corn popcorn. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just
Pretty sure it's only once a year.
That's it. It's over when I'm eating that. But anyway, the point is, I got my popcorn. But as we were walking so we're at Stripes. Stripes is the gas station that's right next to Life Martial Arts. So we're walking into Stripes, and of course, usually there's either a homeless person asking for something, or not even asking, they're just there because they expect somebody to help them, or there's somebody who's wanting to sell something. So there was a guy, and he was selling banana bread and waters for a church that helps homeless people and battered women and people who've been incarcerated, and they just got out and they're trying to make a better life. So he says that really fast, and he says, you want to buy banana bread? And I'm like, no, because I just was thinking, I'm used to the process of you give to Metro Ministries, or, you give to an organization, because those are the organizations that for sure that it's going to go to the cause that you want. And anyway, so long story short, I'm thinking my challenge, right? So I'm thinking, what am I going to do for my challenge? And then I thought, well, one of the things on my challenge is to buy groceries for a random person, and then another one I have is buy dinner for a random person, or buy a meal for a random person. And I was like, okay. There was a guy in front of us, so after we pick up popcorn and our drink or whatever we're getting from the gas station, I just got a vitamin water and a popcorn, and Zalik got a vitamin water, and he got some fruit snacks which smell like heaven. If you need a car freshener, like air freshener, I think you should just buy fruit snacks and open the bag. I think that'll do it. Anyway, long story short, gosh, this is the longest story ever. We're waiting in line, and I'm talking to Zalik, and I'm like, Zalik, what am I going to do for my challenge? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he's talking through it with me, saying, well, what were you supposed to do? And what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And we're talking about it. And then I said, well, there's one where I have to pay for somebody's dinner or meal, whatever it is. And so there's a guy in front of me, and he has a bag of tacos in his hand, and he also has a drink. So I'm thinking this is his dinner. And he's wearing like either it's a nurse's or a doctor's I think it's a doctor outfit, like, you know, the scrubs that they wear. So he's wearing that, and then I'm like, okay, this is the guy. I am going to pay for his meal. This seems like to be his meal because he's buying food and he's buying a drink and he's buying snacks and chocolate. Okay, this is his meal. He has decided this is his meal. I am paying for it. This will be my challenge for today. Check the box. Done. So I offer it to the guy, say, hey, can you help me real quick? And he said, well, I was just wondering if you would let me pay for your meal so that I can meet my challenge for today. And he goes, sure, go for it. And then like about 5 seconds later, while they're ringing up his order, and then I tell my son to come, Zalik, and we put our stuff over there on the counter too. I mean, I'm not going to start a conversation, right? So I'm just standing there so I can pay. And he puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, you know what? Now that I think about it, I make a lot of money. You should probably offer this to somebody else. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And then I looked at him and I was like, I don't know who to offer it to. I'm offering it to you. You get to have it. It doesn't matter if you have a bunch of money. And he goes, no. You need to give it to somebody else. And I'm like, well, I gave it to you. You decide who gets it. And so the funny thing is, at the Stripes, there's a bunch of people behind now. So they probably hear what's happening. And so I'm thinking, I don't want to be the one to pick, you know? So he goes, okay, next person after you. And I'm like, okay. So I look behind and there's a guy behind me and he has his headphones on. Maybe he couldn't hear any of this. And I go up to him and I go, excuse me, what were you gonna get today? And he goes, I'm just here to get some gas. And he's looking at me like, why are you asking me these questions? And I go, well, the guy in front of me said that I should pay for it. And he looks at me like, what? Takes his headphones off and he's like, what? And we don't even talk again, but I can see in his face and my face like we're both having a conversation, but we're not talking. And he's like, all right. And so they ring the guy up, the doctor, I guess. Now I'm thinking he's a doctor, right? So they ring him up and he walks away and he goes, thank you. And I go, thank you. And he just walks away. And then the other guy, he looks at me and smiles like, what's just happened? And I can see the relief in his face, right? And like, oh my God, someone's going to pay for my gas. And then I go up to the front, I give my stuff, the leak stuff, and then the guy's going to the other register because the other register's not. I'm like, no, come over here, I'm going to pay for it. And he goes, okay, well, since you're going to pay for it, I was going to get $20 worth of gas. Let's just do 10. And I go, no, how much gas does your car take? And he goes, no, let's do the 10. And I'm like, I tell the guy at the register, I'm like, okay, we're going to do 20. So, gosh, this is the longest story ever. The point is, I paid for this guy's gas, $25 of gas, and then, which is like, to me, you know, really cool that I did that. But at the same time, oh my gosh, you will not believe what happened after this. Okay, so I had considered buying the banana bread, but I hadn't thought of how this banana bread fits in the list that I had written. And it's not like I have to stick to the list. It's just that I cannot see how I was connecting buying this banana bread to a challenge, right? Because I do that. Sometimes I'll even buy the thing that somebody is selling and I don't even want the thing. I just donate the money, right? But the point is that this happened after. So we walk out of the place and the guy actually asked me, he goes, what was this for? And I said, oh, it's just a 90-day challenge, just challenging yourself to do something that you wouldn't normally do. And so then I'm like, okay, Zalik and I go in the car. So I'm putting my seatbelt on and I look to the side. You will not believe what's going on, guys. This guy is now buying banana bread from the guy. Now, okay, so walking out is when we were talking about the 90-day challenge thing. And then I guess the guy who's selling the banana bread was right there, so he probably heard. And then the guy who I was buying the gas for is buying banana bread. There was a guy behind us, behind us, and I had asked him how much is the banana bread, because the guy who was selling the banana bread hadn't told me how much it was. Anyway, then he comes out, he starts to buy banana bread, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is freaking awesome. So I did want to buy banana bread, but you know, it wasn't me to buy the banana bread. Maybe buying the gas is what made this guy who was going to put $20 worth of gas in his car maybe think, hey, I can buy the banana bread, because he may have heard us talking about how buying the banana bread was not going to be the challenge, because I hadn't thought about how that's going to fit. Anyway, long story short, I'm just telling you that maybe you have no idea what you do in your life that causes a chain reaction. Is this a long story or what? What do you think of all this?
True dat.
What true dat? Explain, what do you think?
Good things link and chain reaction.
A man of few words. Good things link and cause a chain reaction. Elaborate.
Like when you bought him stuff, he's like, oh, I need to be nice too. So he was nice to that guy, and that guy's probably gonna be like, I'm gonna be nice to blah blah blah, because I had a good day. Thanks, bro. About a minute. for banana bread. Then whoever that person is like, oh, they're nice to me, and then blah blah. And just,
That's cool. I don't know if you heard any of that, but that's what Zalik has to say. Anyway, the point is that I did my challenge. Challenge complete. Thank you. Bye.